7:14 on this first day of October. You know something I've got to do here. I don't ever do this, but we got to have a little fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Speedy says I'm not responding right now. We gotta wait for Speedy to catch up. I think I saw somebody's got a birthday that we're gonna have to talk about here.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah. So anyway, Doc Osgood's here.
You betcha. I thought we'd go to our website because there is so much good info on mountainhomechiro.com that I figured we'd talk about a little bit of there's some frequently asked questions there about chiropractic adjustments and what does an adjustment do for you and how does it feel to be adjusted, that sort of thing, for those folks who maybe have never been before or are a little bit squeamish about getting adjusted or whatever, you know. The first question on the frequently asked questions is, are chiropractic adjustments safe?
No, he takes his tuba forward and whacks you around and slams you up against the door. Nah, they're perfectly safe.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah. So there, you know, I think if you did enough searching, you could probably find where someone was hurt by a chiropractic adjustment. You know, there's a possibility that it's out there. But how many millions of chiropractic adjustments are done on a regular basis? So, I mean, it's something
But from experience, you know, both me and my son great testimonies here for chiropractic care.
Yeah.
Whether it was my back or when I had the tendonitis in the knee. I mean, I called you in pain one day.
Right.
And you met me down. I think you were even off that day. Oh, let me see what we can do. And, of course, I had to do some physical therapy, but still, just the adjustment you did took so much of that pain away.
Right.
And then I had to go and finish.
Right, you had to work on the muscles after that.
Had to work on the muscles after that. But,
right.
you know.
So it's one of those things where it's been passed around, and, you know, mainly the safe part, mainly that's come from the medical profession.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're taking money out of their pocket. And so the thing is we do something totally different than the medical profession does. We do something without drugs. We do something without,
you don't go under the knife.
Yeah, without surgeries, without drugs. And we make and improve the function of the actual spinal bones.
Yep.
We get them to work better by freeing them up from a stuck position. We use the word subluxation. Mm-hmm. Subluxation is when the spinal segment is locked up. It's not moving like it should. And so we free those subluxations. We unlock them and get them moving again. So is it safe? Of course. And, you know, you've probably adjusted yourself before. You know, there's people,
twist
you know,
and pop. Yeah.
And that's really the gist of an adjustment, is just getting it to move again. And all we're doing is moving segments that you can't get to move yourself. There's only so much movement that you can get out of your own spinal segments, and what we do is move the ones that are really stuck. So that goes to the next question. Will adjustments make my spine too loose? No. Because we're only adjusting the ones that are really stuck. Mm-hmm. And the ones that are already moving, we're not adjusting. So the ones that are really, really locked up are the ones we're focused on. And the more those are adjusted, the more they start functioning properly. And so the reason chiropractic works the way it does is you restore motion, you restore function, and along with that, you're freeing up nerve function, because when a segment is locked up, it inflames, and the inflammation causes nerve irritation, and then that nerve causes the muscles to tighten up and lock it down even further.
Can a nerve cause pain?
You can have nerve pain, yeah, and you can, you know, because the nerve itself is getting irritated, usually because of the inflammation around it. And so when you remove the cause of the irritation, which is the locked up segment, the subluxated segment, then you're going to have that inflammation decrease, And the more the inflammation is decreased, then the more you get the nerve functioning properly again, the pain goes away, and the muscle spasms go away. So,
and it works. I mean,
yeah.
Anybody wants to ask me about chiropractic care and about Dr. Charles Osgood, stop by, call me, email, whatever. It works.
Right. Another one is, how many adjustments am I going to need? How many times am I going to need to be
Depends
seen?
on the severity.
It does. You are obviously going to need to be adjusted more the more degeneration or decay you have in the vertebrae and in the discs.
Mm-hmm.
So the more degenerated or decayed the discs are, the more you're going to need to be adjusted so that you can achieve the best correction possible, the most correction that's possible. So, yeah, it does vary, and once you start to stabilize, your visits are decreased. We start off, most people, at a very high rate of adjusting. We'll see them sometimes 3 times a week, a lot of times 3 times a week to start off, because the more you can be adjusted, the faster you improve. So then, as you start stabilizing, we decrease the visits, and we also start working with the muscles, so that we can get the muscles to work like they should, and then that holds your adjustment longer between visits. And you can move towards what we call maintenance or wellness care.
Well,
so that's the goal. The goal is to get you to where we can just get you where it's maintainable. So, newborns. Why would a newborn need to be adjusted?
Well, think what they just went through.
Yeah, exactly.
Let alone the mother.
Exactly.
Both of them, really.
Exactly, and that's why we adjust them. I've adjusted my kids from the moment they came out of the womb, and they get adjusted about every couple of weeks now. So, it's the kids actually have so many things happen to them on a regular basis. You think about what they do to themselves when it comes to being in sports, when it comes to
Doc, I remember being a kid. We'd jump out of the swings. We could
exactly.
see how high we could swing on the swing, and then jump out. And
I used to do that too. Exactly. Falling out of trees,
wrecking bicycles.
And you think about that, if those, aren't corrected, then what happens is that you're in the growth process, and those joints aren't functioning properly in the growth process. You can set yourself up for early degeneration or early decay of those spinal joints.
So hypothetically, let's say when I was 8 years old, I jumped out of the tree, maybe it was 9 feet up.
Yeah.
I landed on my feet and I just took off running.
Yeah.
I may not have felt a thing, but it may have jarred something to the point that may have affected me when I was 35 years old.
Right. And it's just one of those things where if you injure it badly enough, and when you're young and it's not corrected at that time, it can set yourself up for early degeneration of the joints. So it's a very good idea for all those kids to be adjusted, for all kids, because it's kids just do things to themselves. They really do. They do a lot to themselves. And kids love it, actually. I have the kids that come to my office to get adjusted, and they jump right up on that table, and they're like, oh, yeah, let's get some popcorn. That's what they call it. And it works really well. They feel better after they're adjusted. They know it works.
I do too.
Yeah. You can actually, after an adjustment, typically you can get up off of that table and feel like you stand straighter, walk straighter. Everything moves better. You have better range of motion, typically right away. So,
wow.
We talked about this. Can I adjust myself? Some people we talked about self-adjusting. You can make joints pop. But it's not an adjustment necessarily. That is segments usually that are hypermobile move a little too easy. Okay? So the ones that need to be adjusted are the ones that won't move on their own. And that are stuck. And that we need outside help like a chiropractor to get them to move again. So what does adjustment feel like? Well, what do you think it feels like, Dale?
What does it feel like? I mean, to me, it's just there's no pain.
Yeah.
It's just
it feels
good.
To me, it's instant relief.
It's instant. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wow, that feels so much
Yeah.
better now. You know, it's actually
Like,
moving.
thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's typically what it feels like. It feels like you, and for a lot of folks who have like headaches, a lot of them, when we get that neck adjusted, they feel instant relief with that too. The pressure that's sometimes in the head
Yeah.
and the neck, and they feel they get off that table and go, wow, my headache just went away. So
Yeah.
that happens
Yeah.
as well. So osteoporosis, this is actually a really good one.
Where are you seeing that? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Can
yeah, yeah.
you adjust someone with osteoporosis? And yes, it's actually one of the best things that you can do for osteoporosis is to be adjusted, because you're strengthening the bones with movement of the bones helps to strengthen the bones. And so, you know, there are different methods that we would use, you know, when it comes to real osteoporotic patients. Obviously, we're not going to use the same amount of force with them as we would use with someone who doesn't have osteoporosis. So everything has to be measured, you know. And so
Okay, for those that don't know, osteoporosis is
it's where the bones are brittle, they start to lose their calcium, and then they start to get weak, and so you are prone to more breaks, like, you know, in the hip joints and things like that when you fall. And the older we get, the more they can have that type of a problem. But
is that
actually,
kind of like a dry stick?
well, it's just that your bones have leached the calcium out of them,
Really?
you know, and so it's a problem that some people can get when they're aging. So what you want to do is get adjusted, because adjustments will actually help to strengthen bones. It's been shown that the more you move the bone and you restore movement, then the more the bone actually gets strengthened. So the adjustments are really good for osteoporotic patients. Very good. This is a good one. Isn't some back pain normal? Am I just supposed to have back pain?
I would say no.
No. Pain is a signal, and any pain in the body is a signal that something is not working. Something's not functioning correctly. So, you know, you can have soreness after you did a hard workout, and you did a lot of work with those muscles. You're going to have some muscle soreness, but pain that lasts, you know, that's not normal. So if there is something that you've been living with, just taking the pills, popping the pills, hoping it'll go away someday, and it's not, it's your body telling you there's something wrong, and you need to have it checked out. Because the first thing we'll do is we'll take some x-rays of the problem area, see just what kind of restrictions there are in there as far as the movement goes. When we'll look at things like disc decay and disc degeneration.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look at functional issues, if you've got scoliosis, or if you've got curvatures that are not correct in the spine, whether it's whiplash type problems or things like that. We'll look at all of that, and that's why we take x-rays. I feel it's extremely important to take x-rays if you're going to get chiropractic care, because if you don't know what needs to be fixed.
And you actually get to see the x-rays, and Dr. Osgood will show you the x-ray and the skeletal model on the desk.
Yeah.
And compare what he's found.
Yeah. Show you what is happening, show you why it's happening, tell you what we can do to fix it, and then give you a game plan, a treatment plan. So that's what we do. And I think it's extremely important. So here's a good one. Do we have a couple minutes?
You got 55 seconds.
Can I get chiropractic care after back surgery? Yes. In fact, when you have a fusion done, something like that, that fusion is a solid piece of cement. There's nothing. It's not going anywhere. It's not moving. But what happens with that is you above and below that fusion get a lot of hypermobility. You get too much work on those discs, and they'll wear thinner because of that one that's not working right. So it's important to get adjusted, actually. It actually will help to relieve all that pressure in there.
I want to encourage folks, if you're my age, I'm 57, if you're my age or older, you know, I want to encourage you to go to see Doc Osgood. If you have any pain at all, legs, feet, back, neck, headaches, give him a call, 425-4424.
You bet.
Or send him an email. Go to mountainhomechiro.com.
We love getting emails because they can ask any question they want, and we love getting those, and I can answer them and right away.
You're never too old to be pain-free.
It's true. We can always do something for you, typically.
Yep.
So,
time for the news. We'll be right back.